Hey guys, so I'm back at it again in my car. Today's video is going to be a bit different. It's just something that's been on my mind, especially today. I was listening to Mel Robbins, and if you don't know who that is, she's a motivational speaker, and I'm pretty sure she's a life coach, and she's written, I know she's written at least one book, but I think she's written several books about just different types of personal development. And she has a TED Talk where she talks about how at a certain point you have to parent yourself. And basically what she's trying to deliver there is nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to tell you what to do. If you have a dream, if you have a vision for your life, nobody's going to push you. Maybe there's circumstances like maybe you live with your parents, or maybe you have a spouse or a significant other that may, push you or encourage you. But at the end of the day, you are the master of yourself. So it's an interesting concept. In the TED Talk, she talks about how when you're younger, like a child before the age of 18, especially if you live in the US, your parents are constantly telling you what to do. They're telling you to do your chores, do your homework, take out the dog, take out the trash. They're telling you the things that will make you successful when you're younger, or kind of preparing you for adulthood and to be in society's eyes, a well-adapted adult. So that being said, when you do turn 18 or whatever age that is where you are on your own, and you don't have an authority figure telling you what to do anymore. And this oftentimes happens when people go off to university or college right out of high school. I know for me, going to college and being on my own, that was very different. And I'm someone that I don't really think about, I guess, personal things for me, this sounds kind of silly, but like eating at a certain time, or maybe washing my face or taking a shower or something like that. When it comes to those kind of things, the more like everyday kind of stuff, that's stuff that I wouldn't say struggle with, but it's not something that necessarily comes natural to me to want to do. And on a larger scale, maybe doing my homework or waking up at a certain point. That's something that a lot of college students have to deal with, is they have to be accountable for themselves. They have to be adults. And it even goes even further when you get out into the real world, because when you're in college, you still kind of have that, there's still that structure. So like if you didn't go to class, there would be repercussions from your university or college. And, there's certain things that would happen, like you would get a bad grade, or I don't know, whatever those may be. But when you're out in the real world and you're wanting to get a job, you're wanting to have certain things in your life, if you don't push yourself every single day to accomplish your goals, to accomplish your dreams, you're going to become complacent. Because when you become complacent, it's when you're not a master of yourself. And I've talked to several friends about this throughout the years, and it's becoming more apparent with certain people. Certain people want to blame things on their circumstances, the people around them, their relationships, let's say, the color of their skin, or their ethnic background or whatever that is. And I'm not saying that those things don't play a role or they aren't a hindrance at some point, but ultimately you are the person that has to take the reins on your life. If you want to do something, you're not going to have maybe there's going to be times where you really feel motivated, but oftentimes you're going to have to do the little things. You're going to have to do the little pushes every day to even make a dent in what your goal is. So let's say you want to get in really good shape. If you just sit around and you complain about being overweight or underweight, whatever it is, and you don't do anything about it, you don't change your diet, you don't exercise, you don't lift weights, you don't do XYZ, you're becoming complacent. And one of my biggest fears, if not my biggest fears, is becoming or living a mediocre existence. And that can look different for everybody. For me, a mediocre existence is when I'm not running after my dreams and actively seeking them and working on them daily. So right now, as you're probably watching this video, one of my dreams is actually to grow my YouTube channel, because I really want to reach as many people as I can. But it's very easy to become complacent, and I oftentimes see people, especially with YouTube, they're not getting the views they want, they're not getting the number of subscribers they want, but they don't realize that there's a lot of work behind it. There's a lot of consistency that you have to build up. You have to build rapport. And even though some people may get like a viral video, and that only happens every once in a while to certain people, even at that, if you just have a viral video and then you don't do anything about your channel, you're not consistent, and you're not trying to create a message of some sort, it will wither away. And maybe it won't be super significant over time. It will definitely have an impact. So, and that's the same thing. It would be really easy for someone like me or other people who graduate from college and they're not necessarily given, this phenomenal offer for a job. You have to put in work in order to be in the place that you want to be. If you want to earn X amount of money, X amount of dollars, you have to put in the work. You can't just sit around and say, woe is me, I'm never going to be enough, all of the people around me think that I'm, a loser or something like that. They may think that you're a loser, but at the time, but they're going to be eating their words when you really prove yourself. And it's not for them, it's for yourself. And going back to, let's say, hurdles in your life. Let's say you have a limiting belief that if you're living in a certain area, you can't be successful. Or if you're in a relationship, you can't be successful. Or if you have children, you can't be successful. Or if you are maybe a certain ethnicity, you can't be successful. All of those are limiting beliefs, and all of those are ultimately excuses. And I don't know how this video is going to come across, but at the end of the day, you can choose to listen to this or not listen to this. But if you choose to not listen and you continue to complain about your life, yet you're doing nothing towards it, you're not pushing yourself daily, because again, most people are not go, go, go every day. Even someone like Casey Neistat or Gary Vaynerchuk. I always forget like how to pronounce his last name, but if you know who I'm talking about, both of those people are extremely ambitious people. They are extremely seemingly motivated, and maybe they have a little bit more energy than certain people, but that's not something that necessarily just came to them. And maybe it came to them a little bit more, but they constantly have been working on their craft. They've constantly been trying to do certain things, and that's why people like Casey Neistat, or there's other people that I look up to that have a similar ambition in all different fields. They are constantly pushing themselves, and they didn't come from, a lot of them didn't come from money, or they didn't come from, you know, the perfect situation. But instead of having those limited beliefs that, oh, I'm just a loser, I'm never going to amount to anything, everybody thinks I'm, you know, this whatever person, worthless person. Instead of listening to those people, instead of making excuses, instead of coming up with all the reasons why they can't be successful, they decided, you know what? I'm going to be the master of myself, and I'm going to work towards my goals. And of course, I'm not exactly where, let's say, I want to be, but I can't fret about those things, and I'm not going to make excuses, even though you know, everybody makes excuses at some point. It's just human nature. But I'm not going to continue to make excuses of why I can't be successful. I'm not going to say, because I'm a woman, I'm not going to be successful. Because I don't have this, like, because I don't make 6 figures or plus, I'm not going to be successful. Because, you know, whatever you want to say, I'm choosing to realize maybe the things that are hurdles for me. And the best thing that I can do, and what you can do, is realize those things about yourself, try to improve yourself as much as you can, and work every single day on it. And it's not an easy thing. And again, I'm not like this tremendously successful person yet, but I have the belief in myself. I have the belief in other people that they can become successful. And it sometimes makes me sad because a lot of my friends or people that I know, or even people I don't know, I see so much potential. I see so much within them, but they choose to ignore it. They don't see it within themselves. Or, like I said, they make excuses for themselves. And that's what happens. That's why people become complacent. That's why people have a mediocre lifestyle. That's not what I want. And I don't think anybody, if you were to say, if people were very truly honest with themselves, I think very few people would want that for themselves. And again, everybody's version of success looks a little different, and everybody has different wants and needs. But I'm sorry this video is a little fired up, but I just feel like that's a message that really needs to come across to a lot of people. And if some of my friends even watch this and they feel inspired by this, or even people that don't even know me or I don't know them, even if there's just one person that this video, you know, impacts them in some way, then this was worth it, despite maybe some of the wake-up calls. So, to wrap this all up, nobody's gonna save you. You're gonna save yourself. And if you don't save yourself, don't be surprised if you don't become your version of success. So you need to be responsible for your life. Alright, well, I hope you guys have a good day, and I will see you in my next video. And if you like this video and you want to see more, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And comment below your thoughts. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.